Hi everyone, welcome to Orchid Talk. No, just my silly thing. Okay, so today we're going to do some repotting. So when you buy plants from a lot of nurseries or orchid nurseries, they come in sphagnum moss. This dries out very easily because it has to be very wet. Some orchids like being wet while others don't. So we're going to repot some orchids. There we go. So, some people from my last video asked about my mix. So, usually it is bark, either fine, depending on the size of the orchids, what it is. So, we usually wet it down so it leaches out anything that's during the bark process. I usually also use some perlite, but I'm out of perlite at the moment. I have to buy some more when we get the money. Yeah, so. Okay, let's start. This is going to be a long video, no longer than my normal one. It's 10 minutes. So, okay. So, first thing we do, grab our orchid, put our label to one side, gently pull it out of the pot, and see all the sphagnum moss. We gently take it out off the orchid. And we gently remove it from the roots, most of it. So this orchid is a cattleya. So see how it's easy for the orchid people to ship it and it stays moist. So not their fault. So this is my way of repotting. Other people do it other different ways. It's very different. So put a little bit of bark in the pot. Let me just move that so people can see. Okay, so put a little bit of bark in the bottom of the pot. So we're looking, I'll show you to the camera, see the new growths? So the new growths need to be facing so they can grow out into the pot. So you put the old growth to the back, new growth to the front. And then you basically put the bark in here. And that allows the plant to grow forward. Because the new growth are there, so the new growth are going to go forward and get bigger and bigger. You can put it in the middle. It's up to you. So these are the little seedlings. They're very little. So I usually, when I get stuff from nurseries, I leave them in the sphagnum moss until they get used to the orchid house, and then we repot them. Other people do other things. It varies. So you can see the roots, the new growths. Probably a bit bigger pot, but I'm going to use it. Pot I grabbed. So with the smaller plant, you just have to be a little bit gentle. Probably better to use a finer bark. So bark comes in different ones. This is what they call a medium-sized bark. There's fine for little plants, and then there's large for big plants like cymbidiums. So little plants like little or oncidiums and stuff like that. So we'll continue on. make sure we put the plant. So many people who are new to orchids would get, or you might be given something called what they call a phalaenopsis, which is great if you live in Singapore, but anything below, because they need humidity and they like a certain amount of moisture, but not too much. So they very, very particular. Let's move that while I talk. So actually, rather than putting it into a bigger pot, I'm gonna put it into this little seedling pot for a little bit till it gets a little bit bigger. Hold on. So this is another. So this is a. What is it? A gomnesia. It's like a non-pseudium. I'm quite sure. In the orchid world, the names get changed very regularly. There's a world what they call the Royal Horticultural Society that changes names. So something that you might know that will be for a certain way, as the species get too big, or there are too many clones, and that's when they might change it or do a subspecies and stuff like that. Okay. Should I do? I'll see if it goes in a little pot. See, this one I'm just going to put in the middle. So it has plenty of time to grow. These are the ones in the little pots are. So this one, really, if you can see on the camera, it's probably been a little. I've left it too long in the little pot in the sphagnum moss, and it's got the leaves are dying. So it's been. Let's have a look. See. Fortunately, what happens sometimes, we lose orchids. You don't like losing orchids. You don't like losing orchids because it also, especially if you spent a good amount of money. So like rare orchids or orchids that are the numbers are very limited can be more expensive. If you look at one of my previous videos, I showed a Dendrobium muthmi. They can go for hundreds of dollars for small plants. Really rare orchids can go for lots. But orchids, you need orchid. Main thing is water, light, and feed. There was an old grower that I knew once many years ago. He's gone now. He used to say, "Did you eat breakfast?" Yes. Well, the plants need breakfast too. So plants do need feeds. So, welcome. Thanks for listening to my rambling on and doing some repotting and showing you my bark mix. Thank you.